Hey everybody, welcome to another Cheltenham Focus with me, Daryl Carter from RacingTips.com. Short, sharp, sweet episode this week. The whiteboard is had a day off. Going to pick up on the bits and pieces of action from Cheltenham on Saturday, answer a couple of questions, put up that ante-post bet we do every week, and slag off Santini a little bit more. No, I'm only joking. But we will get to that at some point in this episode. Look, the Dublin Festival is next week. That's going to be give us plenty of clues going towards Cheltenham. So I want to keep this week short and sharp. Next week we'll have a longer episode. Grab your slippers, grab a cup of tea, sit down. It will be a bit of a long one next week. So you have been warned. Put it that way. Kicking straight off at Cheltenham in the 12:40 Galahad Quest at 6-1. Won the JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial, the juvenile race. Really disappointing race. Monte Cristo flopped the odds-on favourite who was heavily backed on the day. Really disappointing. No horse will come out of that and play a part at Cheltenham. I can tell you that much now. Galahad Quest is a 3-mile chaser in the making, according to his trainer Nick Williams. So I wouldn't be surprised if absolutely nothing comes out of that race. So we'll just leave that alone. And we'll look at the Timeform Novices Handicap Chase, where my nap of the day, Imperial Aurora, was beaten by Simply the Bet. Now, we all know that Simply Bet was a well-handicapped horse on the bare form of his 3 runs this season. That's really worked out really well. He's off a mark of 140. What we didn't realise was that he was going to go such a slow pace and he was going to dictate matters from the front and then kick for home, which didn't suit Imperial Aurora at all. In fact, if you go to any one of their fences, I compared the times, I should say, with the Sepage race in the 150, who run over the same course and distance, and they were so much slower, it was ridiculous. So you go to any one of the fences that Imperial Aurora and Co was jumping, for instance, the 7th, Sepage jumped it at 2 minutes 5 seconds, Imperial Aurora at 2 minutes 11 seconds, so 6 seconds difference. You go anywhere else in the race, the 13th, for instance, Sepage jumped it at 3 minutes 54 seconds, Imperial Aurora over at 4:01. So again, 7 seconds there. Throughout the whole of the race, it was just a really steadily run race. They turned for home, sprinted from 3 out to the finish line. Didn't suit Imperial Aurora. Don't lose faith. They were 4 seconds quicker from the 3 out to the line than the Sepage race. So, don't lose faith, and no one suggests, please, that Imperial Aurora needs to go up to 3 miles, because he's already proven he doesn't stay it. That's that race taken care of. Sepage, like we just mentioned, really good winner. Big eye catcher in that race was Lalor, a horse that we know quite a lot about, obviously, but over this sort of trip was pretty unexposed. Now, I'd given up on Lalor, like many people had, but staying on really, really nicely. It wouldn't be surprised me if that horse has got more to come up in trip, if he goes further up in trip, or even over this sort of trip. Carrying a big weight that day, off a mark of around 152, and putting in quite a nice performance. So I was quite impressed with Lalor. But they're the two to take out the race. Both of them on the front end of a strong pace, and the spirit of the games came from the rear. Take those two out of the race. They're the ones to focus on next time. In the 225, Santini won the Cotswold Chase Grade 2. Now, let's get this right. Okay, on Twitter, I time a few races, right? I time from the moment that the horse leads off, not from when the flag falls, but when the horse leads off and starts, the lead horse goes and starts running the race, okay? And then I time at every fence where they're taking off at, okay? Now, the reason I do this is not to see how fast the horse is or how fast they can run or can't run. I'm not really a speed figures type of guy. Now, I just want to know whether a race has been truly run, or, like Simply the Bets race earlier on, was it a falsely run race? So that's the reason I do it, okay? Now, I did that with Santini's race, and I compared the time with the 2018 running over the same course, over the same distance, on heavy ground, won by Definitely Red, okay? And I put those times on Twitter for people to have a look at. Now, you make of it what you will, but throughout the race, when you compare the two races, Santini's time was 6 seconds slower than Definitely Red's race at every point throughout the race, okay? Definitely Reds was on heavy ground, Santini's on soft ground at the weekend. Bristol Demide finished 10 1/4 lengths behind Definitely Red in 2018 and finished 3 1/2 lengths behind Santini on Saturday. That came after Bristol De Mai made a huge mistake at 3 from home, where he pecked on landing, but he still had the pace to make up those 4 or 5 lengths he lost there, to get on to terms with Santini and actually head him at the final fence. Now, I did mention on Saturday that Santini doesn't do a lot in front, and he could be masking a bit of ability. He does look like a raw horse. He looks like there could be more to come from him, but there's no getting away from the fact that he's slow. He is a slow horse. Now, I'm not saying he can't win a Gold Cup. I'm saying what he's shown on the bare form of things, on the times, on things like that, he's got a ton to improve. That's all I'm suggesting. Whether you like him for the Gold Cup or you don't, that's entirely up to you. But, like I say, it was a slow run race. I felt Topfield Ben and the other contenders in the race finished how they should have finished in the race. I think they're sort of top-end handicappers who are in a little bit of no man's land with their handicap marks. Don't think just because you get to a rating of around 159 or 160 that you're a Gold Cup horse, because let me tell you this, the average official rating of a Ryanair winner is 167 or 168. So let's not get over the top when you get to this 160 mark or 164, through the handicap system. That's all I'm saying. Right, 3 o'clock. Ballymore Novice Hurdle should be changed to the Albert Bartlett trial. That's what it should be changed, because a lot of these horses go on to run in the Albert Bartlett, and that's exactly what's going to happen to Harry Senior, who was a good winner at 4-1 over the hot pot favourite King Roland at 6-4. Harry Senior quickened up quite well. Colin Tizard was really impressed with his horse. He felt he was just an out-and-out galloper, but Robbie Power suggested that he quickened up quite nicely. He's going to be going to the Albert Bartlett over 3 miles. His trainer certainly thinks he'll stay. I think he's a lovely type. There's levels of form this season that we've seen. Now, Harry Senior, Edward Stone, perhaps maybe not Fiddler on a Roof, maybe Fiddler on a Roof stepping a little bit above it. But they're sort of that sort of level. And then you've got your Envoy Allens, perhaps Time Hill, and a few other horses, not many, but are a step above it. So they're definitely nice horses. Harry Senior, Edward Stone, they're going to be picking up races. Plenty of races between them. Will he win an Albert Bartlett? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I'll have to have another look at him down the line before the race, and I'll let you know. But not overly convinced, but I do like him. Lovely horse. In the 3:35, Paisley Park, the People's Paisley. What a lovely horse. It makes me want to bet odds on. Honestly, lovely horse. Just the overall much better horse in the race, in the Cleve Hurdle. Somerville Boy went from the front, set some fractions, jumped really nicely for once in his whole career. He never hit a hurdle on the racecourse, which was nice to see. But just lacked that finishing kick, although he did stay on a little bit again at the finish. Paisley Park just was jumping himself to the front. Just the much better overall horse. I really have fallen in love with this horse on Saturday. And the Cleve Hurdle has got an outstanding record of producing the Stayers Hurdle winner. And yeah, I think at this point in time, he looks a bit of a banker to me. Really like him. Forget about the last race. We don't need to look at that. Lust for Glory is more than disappointing all the time. I didn't back her, but she is. Right, on Sunday, he's carefully selected. Actually got himself qualified for the National Hunt Chase in March. Turned out pretty quickly by Willie Mullins. Not something Willie normally does. So you could probably forgive a below par performance, but it was a miserable performance, if I'm being honest with you. His jumping is terrible. Now, his jumping wasn't great the first time. A lot of people came out and said that this is a really good jumper of a fence. I have to disagree. As soon as a little bit of pace is injected into the race, he makes a little bit of a mistake at the fence, just catches himself out. Now, he is obviously, still learning this trade, but I'm not sure I'd like to see him jumping that free from home at Cheltenham. The downhill fence, as the pace quickens downhill, I don't know. He will be favourite for the National Hunt Chase. He probably will be gambled on. For me, I'm going to be steering clear for that at the minute. I think Champagne Classic should be favourite. Not saying I'm going to back him, just saying that I think he should be favourite. But we'll wait for that race closer to the time. There might be a couple of other horses that we are yet to see, or we're yet to think are going to go down that route. So it's an interesting race to watch. Right, ante-post bet this week. I should have mentioned it earlier. I didn't. In the 1:15 on Saturday, my Nat Imperial Aura, obviously, as we mentioned, got beat. Imperial Aura is now going to go up in the weights. We're not entirely sure what that's going to be just yet, but no more than £4 or £5. £4 would be perfect off a mark of 140. Getting in on a low weight in the Close Bros, which is a condensed handicap anyway. But Imperial Aura 14-1 for the Close Brothers at Cheltenham. Really like this horse. Race wasn't run to suit Saturday. It's got plenty more ability than that. I think this is a 150 horse. So Imperial Aura is going on the ante-post list this week. Just wanted to answer a couple of questions on Twitter from a few of you. So Baz Gray, Stormy Island wins again. There must be a race for this one. Yeah, there definitely is a race for this one, Baz. It's the Mare's Hurdle. She'll be going for the Mare's Hurdle, I would have thought, again this year. She'll go as a second string with Benny Desjeux. But she has improved this term. She finished second last year behind Roxana. I definitely think she can turn that form around with her. She's an improved model this year. Rates are really solid each way bet if you do really like her. But back her each way would be my advice, because I can't see her out of the frame, to be honest. It's a very weak field above the top 3 or 4 in the betting. Next question, Mr. Fisher. Will he go for the Arkle or the JLT? Asad the Yid. JLT, I think 100%. The Marsh Novice Chase, JLT, definitely without doubt. His improvement really shone through over the extra distance in the trip. I know he dropped back on Saturday to win over 2 miles again, but that was a really weak race. Nothing was progressing in that race. He won as he should have, really. He was just not really an attractive price in the race itself. But JLT for me, definitely that's the route he's going to go, I believe. Ground will be a big say on it, and I don't know why people keep thinking that the first day is going to be good ground or have any good in the going description at all. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. So it will be the JLT or the Marsh Novice Chase. These are talking about the bus stop at Cheltenham, so thanks for that, lads. If Honeysuckle goes to the Champion, Benny will go to the Mares, as Willie will see it as an easy option. Yes, that is true, Sam. That is exactly what will happen. The question actually from Adam's Top Tips was, what's your thoughts on Roxana for the Mares? Now, I'll just answer that a little bit. I'm not sure she's progressing at all this season, really. Left me feeling a little bit flat. Dan Skelton can certainly ready one for the day, but in terms of winning the Mares, I don't think she's got a chance in hell, really. Like I say, Stormy Island can turn that form around with her. I reckon Honeysuckle goes to the Champion and Benny goes to the Stayers. No, 95% Benny goes to the Mares. 95%. Willie will pick the easy option. I think Honeysuckle will go to the Champion Hurdle, which will leave the easy option completely wide open for Benny Desjeux. If Altior wins easy at Newbury, will Philip Hobbs shite himself? Will he shite himself and send Deffy to the Ryanair? I don't think so, Lee Mills. I think he's won the 2 key trials now, the Clarence House and the Tingle Creek. He's progressed with each start. His jumping has gotten a lot better. His preparation's been smooth. He's tactically versatile. He goes really well at Cheltenham. He can be held up, go from the front, ground versatile. I really struggle to find reasons not to back Deffy the Saw. I think he will definitely go for the Champion Chase. I think they must do. Altior, he probably will win easy at Newbury. I'd love to set up a massive clash. Altior's there behind me. I'd love to set up a big clash between the two, and we'll see what actually happens. But yeah, the preparation for Altior's not been great. Nicky Henderson's been moaning, or not moaning. He's been moaning about Santini, but Nicky Henderson, I feel, is messed about with his preparation a little bit this year. So Deffy the Saw at the moment for me. That is it. So thank you very much for joining us. 14 minutes, Christ, I can have a chat. Right, join us next week. Get on the Racing Tips website, have a look at everything that's coming out over the next few weeks. Really exciting. Lots of Cheltenham stuff, so get on there, just have a click through and have a little look. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week. Imperial Aura, Close Brothers, 14-1, this week's ante-post bet.